This one can of Pringles almost took out my entire Mercari store. Today we're going to talk about 7 things to avoid to keep yourself out of Mercari jail. Hi guys, my name is Sam the Dapper Tiger. And if you're new to the channel, I'm a part-time reseller and I primarily sell on Mercari. When I first started selling seriously on Mercari, I started looking to eBay for lessons on how I can sell better. One of the things that I noticed that you can sell on eBay are food items. I found out that my local Walmart were selling these Pickle Rick Pringles and you could pick them up for about $2 and flip them for over $20 at the time. According to Mercari may send out warning messages if you've listed a prohibited item or engaged in prohibited conduct. This may also include temporary suspensions, account restrictions, or termination depending on the severity of warning or number of prior warnings received. So it took about an hour of listing these Pickle Rick Pringles for me to receive a warning message from Mercari. And from that, I noticed a 2-week decline in likes, engagement in my store, as well as decrease in sales. Though Mercari doesn't outright define how long they'll suspend your account for, it seems like 2 weeks or 10 business days tends to be the standard for them. Don't quote me on this is what I'm just seeing online. So that leads us into the first thing to avoid. Don't sell prohibited items such as food, weapons, drugs, and pornographic material. A lot of that stuff, minus the illegal stuff, you can sell on eBay, but you cannot sell on Mercari. I'm going to leave a link to the Mercari prohibited items in the description below. The second thing to avoid is sharing your private information to a buyer on Mercari. What I mean by that is either sharing your social media information, sharing your email. Perhaps somebody noticed that you lived in the same state as them and they want to coordinate a meetup, and going around Mercari's back to avoid the 10% fee is a good way to get your store banned. Also, from a safety perspective, if you're new to this, you could be putting yourself at risk to being scammed without the protection of Mercari behind you. Now, the third thing to avoid is using other people's photos and descriptions for your items that you've posted. Mercari does not take kindly to plagiarism, and in the event that you have a new item and you want to use a stock photo, Mercari will allow it, given that it is not the only picture in your listing. The other 11 pictures need to be your own actual photo. Okay, our fourth thing to avoid is drop shipping items. And if you don't know what that means, that's basically buying an item from someplace else that you do not physically have in your possession and having it shipped directly to the buyer who just paid you money to buy that item. Now, this practice could be seen across multiple reselling platforms, and it probably is a little more difficult for Mercari to detect. But if you plan on doing this long term, it's probably not a good idea to keep trying to game the system just for an extra few bucks off Mercari. All right, the fifth thing you want to avoid is abusing the shipping. And what I mean by that is listing an item without knowing its final weight. And that means the weight of the item, including the shipping materials that you will need to ship the package out. Oftentimes I will add weight. So a couple of ounces could be the difference of $5. Mercari will give you a warning for that. I've received a warning for it. Or if you make the mistake of using USPS priority shipping materials for first class mail, your buyer could be charged the difference in order to receive their package. Okay, the sixth thing to avoid is actually having multiple Mercari accounts. Now, what I mean by this is actually having multiple Mercari accounts that share the same bank account. So if you have aspiring little ones that want to start their own Mercari store, they could utilize your bank account and share your Mercari account until they're old enough to have their own bank account and start their own Mercari store. I think Mercari is also afraid of multiple accounts being made utilizing referral codes and fraudulent activities happening by gaming their referral program. And then the last and seventh thing to avoid is actually don't harass anybody, don't bully anybody, and don't sell anything that's offensive. So if you happen to be confronted by a rude customer, do your best to be mindful of your emotional intelligence, have empathy for them, and if things get really out of hand, you can always report them to Mercari and let Mercari handle it. At the end of the day, Mercari is trying to create a friendly ecosystem for their buyers and sellers to coexist on. So it's up to us to maintain that. All right, so what do you think? I hope those tips were helpful for you. I've also included a link to Mercari's prohibited conduct policy in the description below. So please take the time to look over their policies on prohibited items and conduct, because the words "I didn't know that wasn't okay" will not fly. In the cases where people do get banned, they're not able to recover the funds that sit in their balance, they're not able to recover their accounts, and opening accounts in the future are near impossible. And if you get caught trying to do that, you're gonna get banned again anyways. So it's best for you to understand what the rules are and the boundaries of where you can play in so that you can play the best game, sell the most, and earn more income for yourself. This was just a basic overview of things that I noticed that would be easy for anybody who just started selling on Mercari to screw up. For more detail, check the links in the description below. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever gotten a Mercari warning or a nasty Mercari message. That way, other people who are selling on Mercari who stumble upon this video can see and learn from your experience as well. If you happen to land yourself in Mercari jail, here's a video on 9 things you can do to get yourself out. I want to thank you guys so much for your support. Again, my name is Sam the Dapper Tiger, and until next time, peace.